Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. You're at the grocery store, grabbing milk, eggs, and maybe some cereal for the kids. You get to the checkout and bam! The total hits you like a ton of bricks. Groceries are getting pricier every month, and it's making us all wonder, what's going on? Meanwhile, across the globe, billionaires are raking in trillions like it's pocket change. In 2024 alone, their wealth skyrocketed by $2 trillion. That's $5.7 billion every single day. This isn't just a wild coincidence. It's a fascinating story about how the world works right now. Today, we're diving into why your grocery bill keeps climbing, how billionaires are pulling off these jaw-dropping wealth gains, and what it all means for the rest of us. Spoiler alert, it's not magic. It's a mix of smart moves, systemic advantages, and a few eyebrow-raising tactics. So grab a snack, hopefully one you didn't pay an arm and a leg for, and let's break this down together. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're ready to learn how the ultra-rich are cashing in while we're pinching pennies. All right, let's start with the grocery aisle because that's where most of us are feeling the pinch. According to the USDA's Economic Research Service, food prices are set to rise by 2.8% in 2025. That might sound small, but it adds up fast. Food you buy to cook at home, like bread, milk, or veggies, is up 2.0%, while eating out is even worse, jumping 3.9%. But some items are straight-up budget busters. Eggs, they're expected to spike by 57.6% this year. Beef and poultry, up over 9%. Ouch! So what's driving these price hikes? It's a mix of factors. First, supply chain issues are still a mess. Labor shortages, shipping delays, you name it. Then there's global drama like tariffs and the bird flu, which hit poultry and egg supplies hard. A recent CBS News report pointed out that these disruptions, combined with higher energy costs, are making everything from cereal to steak more expensive. For the average family of four, that means shelling out an extra $1,200 a year on groceries compared to just 2 years ago. That's $100 more every month. But it's not just numbers, it's real life. Think about it. You're trying to plan dinners, maybe stretch that budget for a family barbecue, and suddenly a pack of chicken costs what a whole meal used to. It's forcing tough choices like swapping fresh produce for canned or skipping that extra treat for the kids. I heard from a viewer who said they started buying in bulk just to keep costs down, but even that's not enough sometimes. So, while we're all navigating these higher prices, let's shift gears and look at the flip side, how some folks are not just surviving, but thriving in this economy. Now let's talk about the billionaires. While we're stressing over grocery bills, their wealth is growing at a mind-blowing rate. According to Oxfam's Takers Not Makers report from January 2025, billionaire wealth surged by $2 trillion in 2024. A 20% jump in just 1 year. That's enough to buy every grocery store in America and still have change left over. There are now 2,769 billionaires worldwide, and their fortunes are growing 3 times faster than they did in 2023. So how are they pulling this off? First, let's break down the playbook. A big chunk of this wealth, 60% according to Oxfam, comes from 3 key sources: inheritance, monopoly power, and cozy connections with governments. Take inheritance. Some billionaires are simply born into wealth, inheriting massive fortunes that keep growing through investments. Think of families like the Waltons of Walmart fame, whose wealth just compounds year after year. Then there's monopoly power. Ever notice how a few giant companies seem to control everything? Tech giants like Amazon or Tesla dominate their markets, and that's no accident. They leverage their size to squash competition, lock in profits, and keep prices high for consumers. Take Elon Musk. His net worth jumped from $25 billion in 2020 to $188.5 billion in 2024. A lot of that comes from Tesla's stock soaring and his other ventures like SpaceX, securing massive government contracts. Smart? Absolutely. But it's also about having the scale to call the shots. Crony connections are another big piece. Billionaires often benefit from tax loopholes, subsidies, or deregulation pushed through by governments. For example, real estate moguls might score tax breaks on massive property deals, while others invest in industries that get sweetheart deals. Oxfam points out that these connections help the ultra-rich shield their wealth, often paying lower tax rates than teachers or nurses, 23% for the top 1% in the US compared to 30% for many middle-class workers. But it's not all shady deals. Some billionaires are just masters of the game. They invest in booming sectors like AI, green energy, or biotech, riding waves of innovation. Others diversify their portfolios across stocks, real estate, and even cryptocurrencies, spreading risk while reaping huge rewards. And let's not forget the stock market. When it rallies, as it did in 2024, their investments explode in value. It's like they've got a money-making machine that never stops. The wildest part? Oxfam predicts we'll see the first trillionaire in the next decade. That's a fortune so big it could fund entire countries. Meanwhile, the rest of us are wondering why a carton of eggs costs more than a movie ticket. It's not magic. It's a system that's built to amplify wealth for those already at the top. So let's connect the dots. On one side, we've got grocery prices climbing, 2.8% here, 57% there, making it harder to keep food on the table. On the other, billionaires are stacking trillions through inheritance, market dominance, and well-placed connections. The gap is wild. The richest 1% in the US own more wealth than the bottom 50% combined. Globally, the top 10% control 76% of all wealth. It's like we're playing the same economic game, but some players have cheat codes. Here's the thing. Billionaires aren't breaking the rules. They're playing by rules designed to favor them. Low taxes on wealth, loopholes for offshore accounts, and policies that let monopolies thrive all tilt the scales. It's why Five Guys saw their wealth double since 2020, while nearly 5 billion people got poorer per Oxfam's stats. But here's the good news, we can change the game. Experts like those at Oxfam suggest ideas like progressive taxation, taxing the ultra-rich more fairly to fund things like affordable healthcare or food programs. Breaking up monopolies could lower prices by boosting competition. And closing tax loopholes would mean billionaires pay their share, not less than the average worker. These aren't pie-in-the-sky ideas. They're policies countries like Norway and Denmark already use to keep inequality in check. The best part? You don't need to be an economist to make a difference. Talk about this with friends, share this video, or even reach out to your local reps. Small actions add up, and who knows? Maybe one day we'll see a system where wealth doesn't just flow to the top, and we can all afford the groceries we need. All right, folks, there you have it. Why your grocery bill is climbing and how billionaires are cashing in like never before. It's a wild contrast, but understanding it is the first step to fixing it. Let's keep this conversation going. Drop a comment below with your thoughts or how you're handling these crazy prices. If you learned something new, smash that like button, share this video, and hit subscribe for more deep dives like this. Together, we can shine a light on these big issues and maybe even make a difference. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.